Joshua Paul, reporter Food Ingredients First from the Cargill Innovation Centre. We're here in the fermentation facility with Paula Garcia, who is Senior Director of R&D. Welcome to you, Paula.
I'm doing okay, thank you. Welcome.
So, could you explain how Cargill's fermentation lab is advanced in the field of biotechnology, and what role does fermentation play in the development of next generation proteins?
Yeah. Look, I probably better start by actually saying that fermentation is probably one of the most well-established biotechnologies in use in food. And what we do here around is actually building on that heritage with modern scientific technological advancements to move the frontier of fermentation into looking for solutions that helps today's needs. Yeah. So here within Cargill, what you see is that we are actually leveraging collaborations and scientific advancements that we have with our partners that covers the entire journey of fermentation end to end. Yeah? So starting from identifying what are the right strains. Sometimes when needed for certain applications we can engineer to enhance or fine-tune certain properties. Then we move even into the next phase, which is identify the right carbon sources to actually grow the bugs, if you will. Moving into capabilities on scaling up, so we really develop the scaling up process, and afterwards the downstream process. So how do we isolate and purify the target molecule, and then formulate that ingredient into mock-up products which we test with consumers, including with our customers. Needless to say that all these different steps are always done with the highest standards on safety. Yeah? Now, how that does help us advance the transition or create possibilities within protein? Look, maybe we can call out three types of work that we are doing actually within these labs using fermentation to create a range of, or broaden the range of proteins that complements what we of course already have there, either from animal sourcing or the plant proteins from several botanics that we make use already within industry. So one of the things that we do is we enhance the properties of plant-based proteins using fermentation. So to fine-tune their functionality or digestibility or their taste. That's one of the things that we see a lot of pull in the market. Second thing is we develop microbial proteins. For instance, with fungi, we are coming to an advanced state of microprotein production, which again can be complementary or even replacing the traditional proteins in certain applications. And the third work stream is we use precision fermentation that enables us to target specific proteins that today are limited to animal sourcing, but they have specific benefits, whether they are nutritional, functional properties that we are looking for in certain applications that we can target in a very specific manner using precision fermentation. Now, what is common, and it's in all the different approach that I call out, is the ability to precisely target certain molecules or properties in a controlled environment, so that it allows us to secure high quality, high reproducibility, and of course always at all times meeting safety standards. Yeah?
Okay, it's interesting. And can you tell us more about how you see emerging technologies like biotechnology and fermentation revolutionizing food production and contributing to sustainable food systems?
Yeah. So look, it is very important to stress that fermentation in itself is not new. So in fact, the revolution of fermentation happens centuries and centuries ago, when our ancestors have figured out that with fermentation they could actually extend the stability, the shelf life of milk. And that's how cheese or yogurt have been produced. So in itself is not a new technology. The beauty of fermentation is that it is highly adaptable, and that's again what we are trying to do here is leverage latest or more novel scientific advancements to push the boundaries of what we can do with fermentation. And with this, again, it will enable us not only to produce novel ingredients. Actually, the most value is in fact being able to produce ingredients that we are already quite familiar with, but then we use fermentation to achieve and be able to bring these products to the market with lower utilization of natural resources. If you ask me, this is probably the biggest added value of the combination of fermentation with biotechnology to serve current needs in the market is bringing products that we are already familiar with a lower toll on our natural resources.
Okay, that's really interesting. And so Cargill's commitment to improving nutrition and health is very clear. Can you talk about a particular project or formulation change that demonstrates how small adjustments can lead to big improvements in nutrition and sustainability?
Absolutely, beautiful. Well, you know, we believe that the protein transition is not something that requires from us consumers a radical change in the dietary patterns. Instead, it's the incremental, the adjacent move towards more sustainable approach that probably will move the needle. So what we are doing here at Cargill is utilizing fermentation technologies to be able to, with those microbial proteins, such as with Mycoprotein, introduce the possibility to diversify products that today we are acquainted with. Take, for instance, nuggets or a burger, that today the majority are 100% from animal sourcing. Then what we can do is introduce as well mycoprotein ratios so that we can still keep the sensory experience that the consumer is used to, while we improve the nutrition profile on enhancing certain macronutrients that are in need within the population, protein, fibers, for instance, while reducing certain ingredients that are less needed, such as saturated fats or sugars. And while we are doing this, we also improve the costs of the products, of the hybrid product, as we introduce mycoprotein together with animal sourcing, offering or the possibility to bring a more affordable propositions to the market. And by doing so, we also enable a broader range of the population to take advantage of such a products, not just the more wealthy ones.
Yeah. Paula, thanks so much for sharing your insights today. We appreciate it.
You are most welcome. Thank you.